beneficial for you. Else you can note down the point while working. You may also get benefited with that. So with that, I want to move on. So if you not had watched online the Microsoft Ignite, I'm sharing the link. It's basically news.microsoft. So go over there, find about Ignite. There is a special keynote from Satya Nadella. So please do watch it. It will cover maximum things. And with that, if you are a developer, and nowadays in .NET Core, I will say in .NET, we have a heavily used of async and await. But what we had seen sometime, we do some thing that sometime hang our UI or crashes the application pool, uh, or sometime application is not loading. So though there are many, but among them one is async and await. So if you really do consider write anything in .NET Core to heavily get the benefit of async and await, you always have to use, otherwise you will not get the performance boost feature that we have in .NET Core, because each and every thread is uh, executing under async in .NET Core. So we also have to write the code with the help of async and await. But if you have some experience with desktop application or older .NET framework code, then sometime we get a problem, like if you have a constructor and you're trying to use the async keyword, then at that time you may suffer some problem. So please avoid async await inside the constructor, and also try to avoid this result or wait feature that we have with the thread. In place of this result or wait, go with await. That will help you a lot. This is the first point that I want to share. And then .NET Core, as it is targeted for multi-platform, like we can run our code in Linux and Mac OS. So in place of building your directory path, do not combine the folder path directly. Especially use this path.combine directory separator so that you will get the correct path in every operating system. This one is also very critical if you are targeting multi-platform, multiple ways. So this one is something. And we have a encoding mechanism from very long time in the .NET framework, and all of these three do the same thing. But if you're working with .NET Core, go with the first one. But if you are already had written a good library with web.utility or HTTP utility, then also it's fine. But use that inbuilt one. They have a good performance and as well as support for all kind of URL structure that is needed. So this is the second point with directory path and encoding. And then we have a very better support for file downloads, and especially for this override mechanism. Like previously what we keep doing, like we provide our like a path and just file get downloaded. But nowadays we have a mechanism, we can provide some different name, so that the user who will download the file, they will get the different path and different name, so that they cannot inspect that from where we are getting the file and what is actual name of the file. So please do explore with the file class that we have with .NET Core 6.0 and in 7.0. And this will actually very good have a support for IS action result as well. So if you are using with MVC, then also this code would fine for you. So this one is something also tips for if you are really using a file download. I suppose nowadays in every application we have a file download support. So please do consider exploring the this file class, and not only for download, but this one have a very good feature for the uploading file as well. And with that you can do like few things like asynchronous upload kind of thing, stream upload, also for the compressed file, download compressed file. There we have a lot of things with this file. So please do explore. And we are running with a limited time, so I'll not move with the demo. But the key point is please explore this file class that we have in 6.0 and in 7.0. With that, one more thing that I want to address, like in every application, we have some tasks that we can run in background in place of waiting for them to complete. For example, if you are sending an email confirmation for the registration, so you can send that email in background in place of waiting that. So for that, either create your task in background or use third parties libraries, like we have a Hangfire for the open source, or we have a third party uh, provider in cloud servers like RabbitMQ, Microsoft MSMQ, Azure Service Bus, AWS SQS. So all these are the kind of services that we can use for the message broker, sending the emails, those kind of activities that we can run in the background. That will definitely boost our application, reduce the development time, and as well as we will get the rid of handling too many requests from our side. This one is something. And then we have a very good support for IEnumerable and Async enumerable. So in place nowadays, we can see we are heavily creating a web APIs kind of things. So in place of returning the list where user have a chances to do something with your data. So if you return IEnumerable or async enumerable, that will be very helpful for you guys, and that is lightweight and have a very good support for async with async enumerable. So you save your waiting time as well as with lightweight things. uh, One also a good thing, like they have a very good support with the record that we have in our next slide. And also we have a kind of array pool. So if you are using just array or creating multiple times array very frequently, then you may run with the problem for the memory kind of things. So we can have a very good use of array pool that will we can use for storing the like huge datas and that are frequently used. So please do explore for this array pool. This is very useful and handy for frequently creating arrays kind of data if you're doing. And yes, nowadays as we are working for the web API from any application, no matter it is desktop or MVC application or mobile application, Blazor application, everywhere we have a API. So if you call HTTP client directly, then it can create a problem for the like each time creating a resource that is memory incentive kind of thing. So please do use the HTTP client factory. That will solve your memory problem, performance problem, as well as for the DNS caching problem. So if you go with HTTP client factory, you can inject it from your startup.cs and nowadays with program.cs. So this is also we have too many examples on the internet for this HTTP client factory. In Microsoft Learn also we have. Please do check and do use if you regularly using for the uh, HTTP client. And also always consider for the data paging if you are working with the real-time applications. With that, nowadays as we are using the API, we have a very good support for the records. Do create your DTOs where we have a no abstraction kind of private protected things. So create the records, and we have a very good support of model validation with the record as well. And as the name suggests, that record is for only for the data to once initialize and use it. No, we not have to do the modifications. So record are very fit for that. And if you not want to use the record, then you can do the same thing with the classes as well. uh, Having not allowed with any other protection label and allow anything with init only, actually class become kind of a records, and both are the reference types. So you will have a better support for data and reading operations. So please do consider creating the DTOs if you are working with the uh, web APIs. At the same time, please do well name with your model and web APIs. Do well factored. When we say well factored, do not mix multiple things in the single API, and do not make them very smaller as well. Sometime when we do start abstracting, we do a lot of very go with very granular level, so that is not good. Always I have to find the conceptual thing and do the versioning for the stabilization, so we will not get the breakage. That is for the API model, guys. Very thank you for joining us in Microsoft Ignite. uh, and I would like to thank all our speakers who tried with us a full day today for this event. Guys, if you have any question, we